everyone, welcome back to the worldofenglishexams.com, and this video is going to talk about a very interesting question type on the IELTS reading module, that is matching nouns and the information that is given in the text. And here we are going to take the category of matching years with what happened during those years. So this question type falls under one of the classification type of questions or matching the information kind of questions. So today we are going to explain in detail about how to answer these type of questions if you encounter them in your main exam. And we are about to start a series of informative videos on the matching type of questions. So do stay tuned to our channel for regular updates on various types of matching questions. But before that, let's understand how many types of questions are actually present in the IELTS reading test, so that once we have the basic idea, we can take you from there. Okay, so the screen shows you that the questions are broadly divided into 4 categories. The first one is fill in the blanks, and under fill in the blanks you have multiple types of questions like sentence completion, maybe note completion, or any form completion, or table or summary, diagram labeling, and all such types of questions fall under the category of fill in the blanks. Next we have the matching question types that we are about to start now, and we are going to explain to you in detail. So do see all the other videos as well which are present on our channel. And then we have the multiple choice question types under which you again have 2 separate kinds of multiple choice questions. Now then there is the 4th category, that is true or false or not given, or maybe you are matching the information with the fact. So that is known as identification of factual information. And then we have yes or no or not given, which I must say is quite similar to true or false or not given, except with a small change. So do check out the video that we have released on true or false or not given and on yes or no or not given. It is clearly present on our website www.worldofenglishexams.com, and also don't forget to share this video and do give it a like if you seriously fell in love with the video, and do express how you like this video in the comment box below. Now, as I told you earlier, the matching question types are subdivided into various formats, and I told you that I'll tell you information about that. Yes, so now let's understand that. Yes, so these are the various kinds of matching questions. The first one is matching the list of headings. So there will be a number of titles or headings that will be given, and you as a test taker are supposed to be matching the information in the text and giving it an appropriate title that you have to choose from a list of titles that are given. Then the next type of matching question we have is matching the information itself with the text. So a statement will be given to you and you need to match as to whether the statement actually corresponds to which paragraph, or in which paragraph the information about that is located. Then the third type of matching question is matching the parts of a sentence. So as you can understand, the sentence will be divided into 2 parts, and we as the test takers are supposed to be matching the 2 halves of a sentence and making it into one meaningful sentence that coincides with the information given in the passage. And the last one that we are going to see today is matching the nouns with the information in the text, and in this case I am going to select years. So years and what happened in those years is what we are going to do today. So for any matching question, there is a sequential process that every test taker must be aware of, because see, for solving any question we need a series of steps that will tell us how to get these answers right. We don't want to miss out on any question on the reading module. So now let's learn that sequential process, and then I'll take you through a very important skill, that is keyword identification. How exactly do you mark the keywords? This is because many students tell me that we are able to gauge the right paragraph, but we are unable to find out what are those words that signify the information, and what are those words with the help of which I can know and confirm the answer. So that technique is known as keyword identification. I keep repeating this technique a lot because I don't want students to get confused in misinterpreting the keywords. So, yes, with that introduction, I hope you have understood the various types of matching questions and you're definite to find all the relevant information and the videos only on worldofenglishexams.com. So, stay tuned and do check out the latest updates from our channel. Then, let's move on to the sequential process I was mentioning. Yes, so this clearly shows that we need to categorize and solve this question in 5 steps. Now let's start reading from that circle that is in mustard yellow color, the first one. So read the question. That is step number 1. Obviously, you might ask me, hey ma'am, we are also already doing that, right? So we are reading the question, but what I must say is that when you read the question, you do not just skim at the question or just give it a read. You need to follow the second step, that is marking the keywords. So these keywords are the ones that are going to affect our score a lot. So what are keywords? I'm going to talk about it in a moment. Stay tuned. Next, the third step is, once we've identified the keywords, we need to understand what those keywords mean with reference to the given question. Sometimes a single word may carry 2 different meanings. So we need to understand the contextual meaning of it. Let me give you an example. I hope all of you might have heard the word live. L-I-V-E, live. But the same word can also be pronounced as live, right? So that's what I was telling you. By reading and understanding the question, I want the test takers to gauge whether the L-I-V-E corresponds to live or live as per the question. Because if we have any misinterpretations at this stage, then understanding the passage becomes much more difficult for us. I hope this example did help you in getting the third step right. Now, what to do once we've understood the question completely, then we're going to read the text, and as the name of this question type says matching, we need to follow the protocol and match the keywords. So we need to look out for synonyms at this point of time. And synonyms are those words that signify the same meaning but as a different word. So then after we have matched the keywords, then we confirm whether that's referring to what's given in the question or in the statement or not. So sometimes the keywords may be found in multiple places. No more than one paragraphs might contain the same keywords. It does not necessarily mean that if we found the first keyword, then that's the answer. No, that's often a mistake that's committed by students. But today we shall understand in detail why that approach is wrong and how following this sequential approach will lead us to the right answers. So without any further delay, let me take you back to the second step, that is keyword identification. So what exactly are keywords? Yes, so this diagrammatic illustration clearly tells you that there are how many keywords, guys? 3 on the top and 3 at the bottom. So totally there are 6 different parts of speech that must be identified as being the keywords, because here if we identify the keywords right, it not only helps in understanding the question better, but also it makes our task easier in locating the answer that is hidden somewhere in the paragraph. And this technique especially helps for easing your time as well as your pressure, guys, because time is one of the main criteria on the basis of which students may lose their score, because the timing is strictly 1 hour, and within this 1 hour, of course, there will not be any extra time that is given to you. So within this 1 hour, you need to make the most effective utilization of the time to grab the answers, and that too the correct answers. Now, what are the first keywords? The first keywords, as you can see, are nouns. Yes, so nouns are known as the main or primary or the essential keywords, because nouns are the names of people, names of places, things, animals. They may be year periods, or maybe dates or months or whatever it is. And we know for sure that nouns are the part of speech that cannot be synonymized. For instance, if let's say that the name of a person is X, So if the name of that person X is given in the passage, it cannot change to Y in the question, right? So that is what our logical sense tells us. So hence we need to mark nouns as being a very important part of the keyword identification strategy. Now let's move on to the second keyword, which is right beside the nouns, that is verbs. So now I hope you all know what are verbs. Verbs are action words, words that describe the actions or activities that are done by nouns. And I want you to understand that verbs may be given as synonyms, because not always will the exact word in the question coincides with the passage. If we look out for the same word and try to match, then there is always a risk of losing time, because we have to know that if a verb is given, we should not expect to find the same verb in the passage. We must also try to find the synonyms for that verb. Now the next keywords are adjectives. As you all know, adjectives are those words that describe a quality or the nature of a noun. So if at all an adjective is given, again we should not expect to find the same adjective form. We might find synonyms for the adjective. For example, in the question, let's say we have noted the adjective well known. So who is a well known person? Of course, well known can be given as famous or renowned in the passage. So we need to look out for synonyms like that. So a renowned person or a famous person or a well known person, all of them mean just the same. Okay, so these three parts of speech, that is nouns, verbs and adjectives, together constitute what are called core keywords, because they are the vital ones, the central and easily identifiable ones in the passage. Next, the subsequent keywords, which are, of course, there are small words, but still they do carry a lot of weightage, and we will see how they are going to help us in identifying the right answer. Those are adverbs, prepositions that indicate the positions of nouns, and then we have articles which often accompany a noun. So they tell us how many number of nouns are actually present, whether it is in the singular form or in the plural form, to be more precise. So this sums up our keyword identification strategy. Now, having understood this and having understood the various forms of matching in this, and also we have understood the sequential process, so I'm really excited to teaching you a realistic question solving technique, and we'll take up a question type which shows you how to identify a matching type of question, and then how do we approach that. So why are we waiting for? Let's start. Yes, so this is an example of how the question type of matching looks like. So we will be given certain options. Here they are titled as list of dates within a box, and then outside the box we do have questions listed or statements listed. So what do we need to do? We need to read the statements, then we need to read the dates, and we know that dates are nouns in this scenario, and they will not be synonymized. So we are going to quickly run our eyes through the paragraph, and we are going to immediately highlight or maybe circle those year periods, and then we are going to see whether the particular information that is given in the statement is matching with that given in the text. And for your easy understanding, I have also highlighted the answer points in this video, so that once you do this for yourself, I want you to highlight things like that, so that you won't be confused and you can actually sum up your answers straight. Okay, so let me tell you one more clue at this point of time, that here we are aiming at matching things, which means the answers will not be in an order, in a sequence. So if you are looking for something that is lined up in a sequence, so sorry guys, the answer might not be like that. You need to run your eyes through the entire paragraph, and we do not know what event or which event happened in which year. So for that we need to read the entire paragraph and wherever the keywords are lying. So one important clue is we should not expect the answers to be in a sequence. They may be in any sequence. They may be jumbled as well. So we are going to look that. So now let's read the given statements here and mark the keywords quickly. The fifth question. A search for the Mary Rose was launched. What is it telling? A search for the Mary Rose was launched. So here clearly it indicates that Mary Rose is a noun, and maybe it was lost, and maybe a search protocol, a search program was initiated, launched, set up, started. All these are the words that are synonyms for launched, isn't it? So when was this search launched? Then the sixth question. One person's exploration of the Mary Rose site stopped. So I want you to phrase the question, guys. I want you to divide the question and make sure you understand the question properly. So what is it telling? One person's exploration. So we need to find who's that person who was exploring the Mary Rose site, and in which year did this exploration stop. We need to find the year when it was halted or stopped or ceased. You know, these are the synonyms. I'm also helping out you I'm helping you with what sort of synonyms you can expect. Okay, seventh one. It was agreed. Now this is an important point. It was agreed. That means maybe some discussions happened and those discussions proved to be fruitful. Okay, it was agreed that the hull of the Mary Rose, some part of the Mary Rose, should be raised. So till then they were not agreeing for the hull to be raised. Then later on in this particular year, it was agreed that the hull should be raised. Some sort of an excavation should take place for the Mary Rose. Then eighth question. The site of the Mary Rose was found by chance. By chance means they were not anticipating it. It was out of the blue. It was a sudden thing that amazed the people there. They were shocked to see the site of the Mary Rose. Now here there are 4 questions that are given to us, whereas can you look at the number of options that are given in the box? They are from A to G. That means we have 7 options which are given for 4 questions, and the other 3 options are just given to mislead us. So we are not going to be misled, and we are going to match the exact dates. Now let's quickly look at the years. The first one 1836, second one 1840, third is 1965, fourth option is 1967, fifth one 1971, sixth is 1979, and seventh is 1982. As you can see, the year periods are ascending. You know, they are progressing from one year to another in a sequential order as given in the options. But are we going to find the same order in the paragraph? Or maybe the answers might not be in the same paragraph, though the events happened in an order. I hope you got my point. Now let's understand what exactly do we need to do in this question. If you read the instruction given properly, here they are asking us to write the alphabet, correct letter A to G. Let me just highlight that with my mouse pointer. Write the correct letter A to G, which means we should not write the years. We should write the alphabet or the letter that coincides to the number. So now students make this mistake again. So they identify the correct year, but what do? They write the year as the answer, but that is wrong because we are not following the instructions in that case. So what do the instructions tell us? To write the alphabet. So when we are instructed so clearly, we don't want to miss the opportunity. We are going to identify and write the alphabet that corresponds to this. Now, as I told you, I've highlighted the areas where the answer is found for you, because this is the first time that we are solving such kind of questions. But the next time when you solve this, I don't want you to make a mistake. Now let's see. Let's read the first question, or the fifth question in this case. A search for the Mary Rose was launched. So when was the search for this thing called Mary Rose launched? Okay, so let's see the first sentence. On 16th June 1836, okay, did we have this year 1836? Yes, that's option A. Okay, what happened? Some fishermen in the Solent found that their equipment was caught on an underwater obstruction. Okay, obstruction means something is preventing the equipment from being released. That's called a hindrance or an obstruction. So their equipment was caught and on an underwater obstruction. Something was preventing their equipment from being held loose, and which turned out to be the Mary Rose. So they were not expecting that Mary Rose should be found. They were actually they're not searching for that, but because they were looking for their equipment and what was the obstruction that was stopping the equipment, then by chance it turned out to be Mary Rose. Now that reminds me of one of the questions, and I think the information corresponds to that. What is that? Let's go back. Yes, have you seen the 8th question, guys? The site of the Mary Rose was found by chance. So by chance here, the meaning means they were not actually looking for it, they were not actually searching for it, but they found it when they were on another mission. So now what is the year that corresponds to the 8th blank? It is A. So now quickly what do we do? Just beside the statement 8, the statement, we just write the answer as A. Now this is how matching questions are. I don't want the students to be confused that they go in an order and they waste a lot of time and then they find that the answers are not in an order. That's the reason your answer may lie anywhere in the paragraph. I want you to be really vigilant and looking for it, guys. Now let's see the next one. Let's continue. Okay, so then what happened once they found the site? Driver John Dean happened to be exploring another sunken ship nearby, and the fisherman approached him. Okay, just because they found something interesting, they approached the driver from another ship, then asking him to free their gear. Then what did this person Dean do? He dived down and found the equipment caught on a timber protruding slightly from the seabed. Okay, so then he excavated further, he dug further, and what did he find there? Exploring further, he uncovered several other timbers and a bronze gun. Oh, so he started finding several of those items. Then what happened? This person continued diving on the site intermittently until 1840. So till this year 1840, this one person called Dean continued to intermittently dive. Then he in the process of this, what did he find? He recovered several more guns, 2 bows, various timbers, part of a pump, and various other small finds. So here let's look at this word called until. Until, which means, of course, the mission ended in the year 1840. So until that year, this one person named Dean continued his exploration of the Mary Rose, the ship called Mary Rose. Now this corresponds to which question here? Yes, can you find that the answer for the 6th question is that one person's exploration. Now who is that one person? Dean. So his exploration continued till, and it stopped. When did it stop? It stopped in the year, let's go back and find, until 1840. So what's the answer for the 6th one, guys? It is B. You should not write the answer as 1840. You should correspond it to the alphabet, that is B. Now that we have found the answer for 2 bits in the first passage itself, now let's go to the subsequent paragraphs. Okay, the Mary Rose then faded into obscurity for another 100 years. So till the next 100 years, that is till 1940, no one even bothered about that. So that's what is the meaning of fading. No, there was no particular emphasis on this part of the ship. Then what happened? But in 1965, military historian and amateur diver named Alexander Mackey, in conjunction, what is the meaning of conjunction? As a joint collaboration. So then what did he do? he had a conjunction with the British Sub Aqua Club, okay, with another body, with another management body. Then he initiated. So because the Mary Rose's excavation faded into obscurity for 100 years, again he reinitiated, he launched, he started. So here launched and initiated are synonyms. So when did the project relaunch again? In 1965, and that project was titled as the Solent Ships. Here you can clearly see in the third line that it is given as Solent Ships. So that's the meaning of which question? Let's go back and find it. Okay, then can you find that the first answer, the fifth question, corresponds to the information that we have just read? A search for the Mary Rose was launched. So launched and initiated are synonyms here. So what that happened in which year? In the year 1965. So that corresponds to option C. Option C. So the answer for the fifth question is option C. Then obviously we found that for the sixth question the option is B. Then we also found that the answer for the eighth question is A. So we are yet to find the information that pertains to the seventh question. Now have you understood that the answers will not be in a sequence because the information also is not in an order. Now let's continue. Then what happened after this project was launched? While on paper, this was a plan to examine a number of known wrecks. Wreck is nothing but a part of a ship, a distorted entity, a broken thing. So then wrecks in the Solent. What Mackay really hoped for was to find the Mary Rose. Yes, because he was an amateur diver and his original plan was to find the Mary Rose. So then ordinary search techniques proved to be unsatisfactory. Oh, he'd put his hard effort, but it proved to be unsatisfactory. Okay, so Mackay entered into a collaboration with somebody called Harold, who is a professor of electrical engineering at MIT. Then in 1967, Edgerton's side scan sonar systems revealed a large, unusually shaped object which Mackay believed was the Mary Rose. So then there was a slight progress that happened in 1967 that was believed to be Mary Rose. It was not Mary Rose. And what is the question 7 stating? It was agreed that the hull of the Mary Rose should be raised. So far we haven't got any of our keywords, that is agreement or something about the hull and something about raised. So we can't confirm that 1967 is the answer. That rules out option number D. Let's continue. Further excavations reveal stray pieces of timber and an iron gun. So right from the start they have been able to find pieces of timber. But the climax to the operation came when on 5th May 1971, what happened in 1971? The part of a ship's frame was uncovered. Okay, something was uncovered, a part of a ship. Then, was it named as hull? No, right? So we cannot confirm the answer for the 7th one. And that too, it was not raised. Then let's see what happened further. I'm reading from the second line of the last para. Mackay and his team now knew for certain, they were sure that they had found the wreck, but they were unaware that it also housed a treasure of beautifully preserved artifacts or historical objects. They didn't know that the Mary Rose's wreck treasured a lot of antiques. Okay, so then what happened? Interest in the project grew, and in 1979, okay, now we come back to another year. What happened in 1979? The Mary Rose Trust was formed. Okay, so is it talking about the trust in the question? No trust. So we confirm that 1971 is not the right answer, as well as 1979 also is not the right answer. Now let's see what happened in the year 1982. Okay, so the decision whether or not to salvage the wreck was not an easy one, although an excavation in 1978 had shown that it might be possible to raise the hull. So they found that in the year 1978 it might be, so there is a chance to raise the hull, but was it agreed upon? No. So let's read further. While the original aim was to raise the hull, if at all it is possible, the operation was not given a go ahead. Go ahead is nothing but agreement. So they told that, oh yes, let's go ahead with raising the hull. But when did it happen? Until 1982. So till 1982 nothing happened about raising the hull. So only in the year 1982 did it happen, when all the necessary information was available. Now this confirms the keyword, that is, okay, hull is there, then there is a meaning for agreement, and that too about the hull. Okay, and that too it was raised. So this confirms that the answer for the seventh blank is G, that is 1982. So guys, did you understand how to do it? So what we need to do, we need to read all the questions, all the options that are given in the box, and only then we can match it. If we just go from one question to another question and try to match it, then it's going to take up a lot of time. So now let's confirm whether the answers are right or wrong. Yes, as you can see, the order is C, B, G and A, and this paragraph is sourced from Cambridge 11, the academic version. So I hope this video explained to you in detail how to match nouns with the given information and relate it to what is given in the text. So till I see you with another video, happy preparation guys, and do check out our latest updates and videos that we have made for you, and I'm sure that you will benefit a great deal from them. And we are also releasing a series of videos on idioms that are very useful for your speaking to improve your score. So don't forget to check them, don't miss them guys, because we might never know what information might be useful at which point of time, right? So till then, stay tuned to the World of English Exams, and do share, like and subscribe to our channel. Happy preparation and see you.